Hi, I'm here with Frank Kearns. Thanks, Frank, for having us
Welcome,
out to
Remy.
your Rock School studio here. And Frank's been working on a new album with Steve Kilby, Australian co-songwriter with yourself.
Yeah.
And for Speed of the Stars, which
Yeah.
is due out this year. And do you want to tell us a little bit about the background?
How it
of
all
this?
started?
It all started back in the late 90s. And
Even going back to the 80s, when Cactus World News, which is my band in the 80s, we were touring the States, and I think it was New Hampshire,
yeah,
where we did a co-headlining bill,
yeah,
Cactus and the church. And this is before the Milky Way, which is what that was his big hit over there,
Yeah.
the church's big hit. So we were in a tour bus and parked beside their tour bus. And after the show, we just sort of had a chat together.
Yeah.
And I always remember thinking, there's something about his music aesthetic that I can relate to. I can relate to the
Yeah.
actual music. So kind of thought nothing of it. And then a friend of mine, Frank Donnelly, he put me in touch with Steve again in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And I went over to see them play in London.
Yeah.
Himself and Marty Wilson Piper, amazing guitar player.
Yeah.
And that was a great gig. It was just the two of them. And I said, Steve, why don't you come over to Ireland?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I'll come over. So he came over. That was in 94, 95. And I said, I'll drive you around the country.
Yeah.
I'd never been here before. So we drove him around, and it was a scary moment because the closest I've ever come to death was going over this hill with him in the car. We're listening to some tunes, right? And I was down in Tipperary, and it was a castle, the castle was coming up.
Yeah.
Look at this. Next minute, this farmer suddenly decides to turn right. Oh, it's like slam on the brakes. The car just skidded for about 100 yards. Went slightly to the turn. The farmer goes into the petrol station.
Yeah.
Opens his car, walks out.
Nothing.
Nothing. Walks.
It would have been a very un-rock and roll way to go
It would have been
out.
a very farming adventure. Yeah, no, it would be extremely on rock and roll way.
Tragic farming.
But he liked being in Ireland,
Yeah.
and so what happened then was we said, okay, it would be cool to try and maybe if you could come over to Ireland and then we could do some stuff together. But I had, I was here. I had Salt Studio setting it up, and a lot of things got busy. But eventually in 1988, myself and Wayne Sheehy, the drummer on the tracks on this album, a lot of the tracks of the album, the three of us got together here, and we started just playing together. We even had Nick Seymour from Credit House.
Yeah, yeah.
He came in on one song.
Wow, yeah.
Which is not on this album, but hopefully we'll maybe make something of it and bring it out again. But so we were just sitting here, just jamming, and we just really come well together. And I was engineering at the time, and we literally didn't plan anything. We just said, right, okay, here's a riff, off you go.
Yeah. And the rest
just started coming together. So we've got about 3-4 ideas, song ideas there, and everything was going well. And then I noticed Steve was sleeping a lot on the couch behind me, which is just there. And I said, are you okay?
Yeah.
And he said, I think we should go out for a walk.
Okay.
So went out for a walk along the beach up in Howth, and he said, okay, got a problem. And I knew when I heard the word problem that problem didn't mean, it's indigestion or anything like that. He had a problem.
Yeah.
So I said, well, what do you want to do? He said, well, I'm either going to, feed the problem or, stop it. And I said, preferably the latter.
Yeah.
So I said, I'll help you out if you want to. So literally, he went cold turkey in my house.
Yeah. And he's been very upfront about it. I mean, he's done
he's completely upfront about
the
it. Yeah.
Sydney newspapers about it, and
It's
mentioned that he basically it was either that or, like you said, keep going and see what happens. So thankfully, the latter, and obviously, it's almost 20 years later now, and the 2-year working on the Pledge Music thing, which we'll talk a little bit more about. But first, some of the
no. I'm just going to say that when that happened, it was literally right, okay. Well, let's are you going to be able to record? Are you going to be able to do anything?
Yeah.
And it then became, okay, well, let's go through the cold turkey business.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
was pretty
Rough.
rough.
Yeah,
That was pretty rough.
yeah.
But I felt privileged
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be there
Yeah.
for him at that stage. And I felt when we came through it that something good was going to happen
Yeah.
as a result. I didn't realise it was going to take so bloody long.
Yeah.
But it came through it, and we still had the stuff recorded on these tapes here,
Yeah.
which are basically, we get one here, they were all recorded on this.
Wow.
Old tapes.
Yeah.
So that was back in the 90s,
Yeah,
98 actually at that stage. So, life intervened. I had a son in 99, and he had his daughters and lots of different things. The church went on tour.
Yeah.
So it kind of got pushed to the back.
Yeah.
And then in 2011, what happened then was I had a house fire,
Okay.
and we literally just had to take everything out, the remains in the house, the storage and all that. We had to put it into a storage unit. And then when I was putting it in a storage unit, I found a whole bunch of stuff, like an early U2 memorabilia
Yeah.
from back in my early days,
Yeah.
which I sold some stuff to help this album.
Yeah.
But also I found tapes.
Yeah.
And I just said, what's this?
Yeah.
I got on the phone to him and said, look, we should finish this.
Yeah,
And then I didn't even know what it sounded like, because I hadn't had, the machine was sold, like the 2-inch machine was sold. So I got a friend of mine enabled me to put it on, and we made a rough tape of it, and I sent it to him, and he goes, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Who is it?
No way.
I said, it's you.
Yeah, you should have said, that's just me. But anyway,
Yeah, it's you. And so I went over in 2013 to Sydney, and then since then, we've been doing stuff over online.
Yeah.
And we go over in 2014, have chats, and work out some more stuff.
Yeah.
And last year, we're slowly building up. He's doing vocals, he's adding lyrics, I'm doing guitar, and it's then just building up to the point where we have now, we have the 10 songs for the album, but we've only recorded 7.
Yeah.
So we've got 3 more to actually record properly, and he's got to sing on, stuff like that. Now, because of his schedule, because the church have been touring the States quite a lot. I've got to go over there.
Okay.
And next month, and actually that's in March.
Yeah.
So and I've got to do vocals with him.
Yeah.
Record his vocals, and got to go into the studio over there.
Yeah.
Rankin Street Studio, and finish the whole album, and mix the whole album, and have it all finished.
Yeah.
In time for the May release.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at with that.
Yeah. And then the what I was going to mention about the pledge music thing was that you one of the items you had was the magazine from your old school, Mount Temple. Where you were best mates with the guys in U2, and you used to sit in with them in the classroom when they were practicing after school, and you found the newsletter from the school was the very first interview with Bono.
Yeah, it was the Mount Temple School magazine.
Yeah.
I remember I looked at it. I had all the stuff packaged up and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, I lived through all that, so it doesn't have the same. I don't have that same nostalgia about it.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't have that same importance to me because I haven't lived through the events.
Yeah.
But when I saw this, I started just looking through. I go, God, there's an essay by Adam, the essay by The Edge. He was slagging off me, The Edge, on my rugby skills.
Yeah.
I thought, then the next one was Bono's interview with the principal, and I started thinking, this is what made Mount Temple special, and this is where I started my music career, basically. Frankie Corpse and the Undertakers. Like that's the band that Neil McCormack based the book Killing Bono on. Which is what the movie was based on. That was my band, Frankie Corpse and the Undertakers. Take note, Neil. So I thought, well, somebody has to
And has that sold? Yeah, so
yeah, it's sold. Yeah, it's sold.
And so you're almost at the you've almost reached the full goal for the album now. Yeah. When obviously geographically we won't expect too much touring with the album, but you do have.
We want a tour.
Yeah.
We want a tour. So look, if we have, touring, the way touring works is you have to have an audience.
Yeah.
So if it looks like there's going to be a big enough audience to sustain it, then we'll go for it.
Yeah. And
so,
in terms of then once that's out, obviously you can pre-order on the Pledge, but once it's out, where will people be able to purchase the album? Will it be?
Well, that's once we get it out in Pledge, then we're either going to look at getting a conventional kind of record deal where people can get it out there as many people as possible, or we'll just sell it in our own way. You know. Possibly via a Pledge Music, another Pledge Music, not fundraising thing, but just where people can buy it, platform.
Well, that's great, Frank. Thank you very much for letting us come in and chat to you, and best of luck with the album release yourself and see.
Thanks, Remy.
Can't wait to read it.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much.